How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's having a good night. Everyone getting prepared for Thanksgiving. I'd like to jump on here a couple minutes early and share the video. Aha, there we go. And we should be starting here right at 8 o'clock. We'll share the Harrisville Haunted House. We'll give them something to do here in November. Chat. Share it to Jack Shadow's page. And the Chiller Night Facebook group page. I think that's about it. All right, I think we got all bases covered here. All right, folks, it is time to begin. Here we go. Hey everybody, this is Bryan Hogue. Welcome to Chiller Chat. Today is November 23rd, and it's a Tuesday night. We like to do these shows live, and then the show will then be featured on Stream TV. Well, in this case, this coming Saturday night. So tonight we have Shawn Kelly of the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. He is on here, and he's going to be chatting with us. So if you have any questions while I'm talking with Shawn here, feel free to do so. Write your comments and questions, and we'll get to them throughout the show. So let me pull Shawn up here. All right, Shawn, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can hear me.
I can hear you fine. Yes, thank you for joining us tonight, Shawn. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
It has been, I checked this out earlier prior to getting with you here. It was earlier this year we had you on the show, back in February. It just seems, it seems so long ago.
Oh my God, yes. I do remember. I was all excited when I came on to do your show. I really was. And I don't know. I keep up on what you post, and sometimes if I'm up, I'll watch a movie and check out the other guests, because you have had some other guests on your show that I do know that are friends of mine on Facebook. So part of the paranormal field.
Well, you're quite involved with the paranormal, of course, and we'll be talking obviously about the paranormal investigations as far as like the ghosts, the spirits. I know a lot of people are interested in that, but I remember last time you were on. We also talked about the you're under the paranormal name, so you also talk and discuss the cryptozoological part of it and UFOs and basically anything, I guess, under that paranormal umbrella, correct?
Correct. Yes. And let me how I started. Like before I started getting into UFOs and aliens and cryptids, I was strictly paranormal. I was strictly ghost, and witches and you know um, sprites and different types of elementals, if you want to call them that. And so Jenny Nicasio sent me a message and asked me if she wanted to do a show, wanted me to do a show with her. And I said, sure, why not? And so it was called Chasing Prophecy, which airs on Tuesday night, 9 o'clock p.m. to 11 o'clock p.m. on UPRN Radio 105.3 out of New Orleans. And we have a show coming up at 9 o'clock tonight. And we got some interesting things to talk about tonight. And that's when I got into UFOs, aliens, conspiracies, the whole 9 yards. So I went from the paranormal to UFOs, aliens, and cryptids. So it's like I just have all this information. I have all these different type of things that I talk about that I research and stuff now. With Chasing Prophecy show, I have talked to some of the main people who are into the UFO. A lot of people from MUFON. I've talked to a lot of people from who study Bigfoot, cryptids, and stuff like that. So it's been a wild ride, and it just seems like it's just picking up speed.
When you first got into this back in 2006, correct? Back in 2006?
Yes.
Now, was your intent to only do ghosts and spirits, and then
Yes.
you branched off as you started meeting other people, or what was the original intent?
The original intent when I formed the group in 2006 was to go to cemeteries on a Saturday night, or go to like different places that might have a story to tell, but mainly it was for cemeteries. And how I got to that was I was in Gettysburg and in February, and I tried to find some ghosts. I was taking pictures, and I like struck out. And so when I got back, me and my friend Carmen, we formed the group Pittsburgh Paranormal Society, and that's what we did. We did cemeteries, a lot of cemeteries. In fact, we did a lot of repeated cemeteries because we were new and we really didn't know where to go. And then all of a sudden, the news media found out about my group, and they found out about me, and we just took off from there.
I remember, and I don't have the picture here right now, but I remember last time when you were on in February, you showed you shared a very eerie photograph, and I'm trying
The
to
girl in the
remember
closet.
if you're the one who took that or somebody from your group took that, but it was one of the most compelling pictures I've seen from a paranormal investigation team. Do you remember
Right.
that?
Yeah, I do remember. I do believe it was the girl in the closet. And that was taken. I think I sent you two pictures.
There was one in the cemetery. I believe this was one in the cemetery. I wonder if I can
Was
pull
it a
that up.
shadow figure?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually see if I can pull that up, because to me that was one of the strangest pictures. Yeah, I have it right here. Cemetery figure. Can you see that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was taken at, it's called Grove Cemetery in New Brighton.
I'm gonna try to make that bigger. Look at that. Wow.
It was 99 degrees out and humidity. It was really, really hot. And Val, She sat down on the ground and snapped a picture, and that's what she got. She got that man there. And if you look at his outfit, he's not dressed for the summertime. You know what I mean? But after a while, we finally realized where we found him, and what he was looking down on was, we do believe it was his wife and children that he was looking on.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's great. That's top of the line. But you can't beat that. That
Yeah,
was,
that was one of the best pictures I've seen from any investigation, and I've seen a lot of them just by doing this show over the years. But I wanted to ask you, you're on Chasing Prophecy.
uh-huh.
What is it? What's that name mean? What's that name? What's the significance of that name?
To be honest with you, Jenny Nicasio, she's the one that came up with it.
Okay.
So you can take that Chasing Prophecy any way you want to take it.
Okay.
Um,
I didn't know what that meant. Like actually following like biblical prophecies
nah,
and what's
nah.
going on in the world
Well,
today and stuff.
well, you know what? Maybe. That's kind of maybe. I'm sure some day, time down the road, that we'll probably talk in Bible, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
no, for now, she just came up with the name, and I think it's a real catchy name. I think it's a good name. Like I said, we're on UPRN Radio 105.3, and we are averaging, ooh, we're averaging between 585,000 listeners up to about 700,000 listeners.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And
quite an audience. Wow.
what's real nice about UPRN is that it's just not strictly here in the United States. It's actually worldwide, in Asia, England, Australia, New Zealand, China, Russia. It's all over. So we got a following, and it just seems like every month we get more people, and it's pretty cool.
That's a huge following. Wow. That's
Yep.
great. Well done. That's something to be thankful for, huh?
Yeah, it's called United Paranormal Radio Network. And my producer will like me, broadcasting this for him, give him a little kudos on that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but we have a good show. It's on at 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Tuesday nights.
Well, you also then you have Into the Night. What's this one right here then?
That is my show.
Okay.
One time, as I was doing Chasing Prophecy, me and my group members got together and they asked me, well, why don't you do one for Pittsburgh Paranormal Society,
Mm-hmm.
And so Joe had Montieldo, I forget his name. I asked Joe, I said, do you have an hour open? And he said, yeah, right after your show. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And so for about 2 months now, I've been doing that show every Tuesday night. Now, what's really cool about that, after I do Chasing Prophecy, then I automatically go to my show Into the Night.
Okay, right after Chasing Prophecy, then you go.
Yes.
Into the Night. Nice.
So I'm on like podcasts or radio for 3 hours straight on Tuesday nights.
Oh wow, that'd be fun.
I love it.
I think that
love
sounds
it.
like a lot of fun. You're talking about something you obviously are very fascinated with, and probably you love the topics. So
Yeah. Now Into the Night, it's different because there's times I get guests and there's times I don't get guests. And when I'm by myself, I look at it like this. Whatever comes up in my mind, you know what I mean? I start talking about. I mean, I remember the the second show I did, I just talked about everything and anything. Right now, for me right now, I'd like to talk about mental health issues because, I'm not right, I'm kind of like anxiety out and stuff like that. So I share about mental health and I share about different things going on in the world, which is, I think they're getting a bum deal, and whatever. I come up and start talking, but I do have a good guest on tonight. Her name is Kristen Lee, and she owns the most haunted house in Ohio called the Bel Air House, Bel Air, Ohio. And it's going to be a good show tonight.
Oh wow. Okay. Now Fort Ian Time says, Shawn, have you seen a ghost?
Yes, I've seen the ghost, yes.
Now, when you've seen them, do you like we saw the picture. We posted the picture a few minutes ago.
Right.
Have you actually like seen it with the naked eye?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I've seen full blown body apparitions. Yes, I have.
And
Hmm.
when was your last investigation?
Ooh,
It's
when
probably
was
been.
it?
I mean, are you doing that regularly since the beginning of the COVID and everything?
Yeah, we recently started back up again. I've done a couple private residences, you know, but our last main one, we were up in Gettysburg. The whole group was for a weekend, and it was great. But a lot of people say, "Do you see ghosts?" And personally, I do. And it's not like I look for them. I've been in the business for so long that they disappear. Do you know what I mean? They disappear, and you have two different type of hauntings. You got a residual haunting,
Mm-hmm.
where you actually see the ghost repeating itself over and over and over again, because it's stuck in the time period that person died. And then you got a real haunting where the ghost knows what you're all about, and
Right.
so yes.
Oh, Fort Ian Time says, I just joined and didn't see the photo. I'll put that back up just for a few seconds there. But that was taken there at a cemetery. We were just talking about that a few minutes ago. But a very, very interesting um, photograph there.
Here, I got some advice for the people who that want to get into the ghost hunting or try to find pictures or videos. If you don't look for it, it's going to come. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If you're out there and you're really working your tail off, you're doing everything in the world to get some type of video or audio, it might not come because the ghost is probably laughing at you saying, haha, I know what you're trying to do, so I'm just going to back away. But honestly, if you don't try, they usually appear. If you treat the spirit with respect, in return, the spirit will respect you. And that's why I do believe that we get very good evidence. But you know what? I'm going to share this a little bit. Everybody wants to see video. People want to hear audio. They want to see video, and there are times that we don't get nothing.
Yeah.
But the whole thing behind the investigation is that you get a personal experience. Do you know what I mean? It's like if I took you, Bryan, to an investigation and you saw something or someone pushed you or touched your face or your hair, okay, you got a personal experience. So 95% of the time on an investigation, it's usually a personal experience.
When you do an investigation, and last time you were telling me, and I don't know if things have changed since, but you were saying about most of your stuff is through clients, through residences,
Yes, yes.
and um, do most of those people, I guess on average, do most of them seem to have like a friendly apparition in the house, or are we talking about something that's a bit more sinister in the home? Do you have?
Um, the majority of the clients that we go to have, happy spirits. You know what
Okay.
I mean? But there are every now and then bad spirits. and we deal with those too. And it all depends on the energy that you're releasing in your home. I mean, if you have a negative person at the house and you're always fighting, constantly fighting with your significant other or whatever, what you're doing is you're releasing anger. You know what I mean? You're releasing negative energy. And what happens is the negative spirits out there, boom, they're attracted to it. So that's what riles up everything. But if you got happy spirits, you know, they just want to be heard. You know, they just want to be known. The majority of the clients that I do go to, they don't want their ghosts to go. You know what I mean? They want them to hang around.
Huh.
So you kind of like to make a deal with the ghosts, like, okay, here's the deal. You know, you can have this house, you can haunt it all you want up till 10 o'clock at night, but after that, I'm going to bed, and you can't do nothing. And it works. You know what I mean?
It works. Wow.
Yeah, it works. And for any of your listeners out there, or whoever's going to listen to this, if you know that you got a spirit in your house, acknowledge it. Say, I know you're there. Leave me alone. That's it. You know what I mean? Because majority of the time, ghosts, they just want to be heard. You know what I mean? Imagine, you know, you're 100 years old, you're buried in the ground, you died in 1899, you're in a cemetery, and no one comes visits you, okay? And all of a sudden you're hanging out on your tombstone, you know, and all of a sudden you see a bunch of people coming to the cemetery where you live, and it's like, oh my God, these people can hear me. Would you not, Bryan, if you were a ghost, go up and try to find out who you are and start talking?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because the spirit actually got company. So
I find that fascinating, though, that you can make an arrangement with the spirit. You're making an arrangement with them, and they understand and actually.
It's a contract, yeah.
Agree.
I call it the contract, yeah.
I wanted to ask you. I got some. I have. Now some of the viewers. I'll get your questions here real quick with the viewers, but I wanted to ask you with the. Do you find is there an increase, decrease, or maybe nothing at all in paranormal activity since the onset of this the COVID issue?
Oh, it has progressed a lot.
Because I feel something, you know, and I think a lot of people are feeling something, and I don't know that you even have to be all that in tune with your I don't know. The pineal gland, intuition. Or what's that?
With your intuition, but no, the paranormal activity has spiked a lot. And like, okay, think about it. Look at all the negativity that was going on through the COVID, okay? All that negative vibes that were going out there. We'll see what happens is if you imagine everybody in the world releasing negative vibes, you're going to have a lot of negative spirits come in. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, it kicks up.
And that's why I thought I would ask about that, because it just seems like it's almost tangible. And like you just said, I mean, the whole world is feeling something. We're going through something together, and not all of it obviously is good. Let's see. Doc says, Shawn, you mentioned 2 types of ghosts. Have you ever encountered a combination of those 2 types in one spirit?
In one spirit?
In one spirit?
No. Okay. The 2 types of spirits that I do believe, you had a residual haunting spirit, and then you have one that's real. The residual does not know. It doesn't see you there. Do you know what I mean? It's like
it's just on a basically
it's on a loop. It's on a loop.
Yeah.
Like you get to see a lot of those up in Gettysburg because a lot of those soldiers died real quick. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they're caught in 1863. So they walk right through you, you know, and not realize that you're there.
Wouldn't that be fascinating though if you could? Like you're making a contract with these. an agreement with one at a residence, if you could actually contact and communicate with one in Gettysburg, for example, because I know that was
Oh,
that
I
was the
do.
place where you that sparked your interest, Gettysburg,
There's
correct?
one. There's one up there. He's on Saks Covered Bridge, and he's from Tennessee. He was a soldier from Tennessee, and he's up there all the time. And when I'm up there, he likes to show off. You know, and him and I talk. You leave him a cigarette and a match, and let it go because that's what he wants. He wants a cigarette, so I would leave a cigarette and I would leave a match, and as a gift to him. Yeah.
Wow.
But he's a live one. I mean, he's a real. You know, he isn't on that residual deal. He knows what's going on.
There's an intelligence there. He's
Intelligent
aware.
on me. Yeah.
That how do you talk with something like that? I mean, do you take your equipment, or are you just talking and you're going by your intuition?
Well, what I like to do. So I usually do it by my intuition, but
Uh-huh.
I like to bring just a simple K2 meter,
Okay.
which picks up EMF readings. And when I start asking questions, he'll light it up. Do you know what I mean? If he answers, if he doesn't answer, it won't light up. But if it lights up, he's talking. So, yeah, if you talk, if you talk to the spirits like they were human beings, because you got to remember at one time they were human, right?
Right.
And if you, like I said, if you talk to them normally, they're going to give you a conversation back. Yeah.
Wow. Let's see. Bill says, of all ghost shows on TV, which do you recommend?
Mm. That's a tough question. I would have to say the Dead Files.
The Dead Files. Okay.
Yeah, I would go with her. She's good at what she does. I would go with that one. I don't see. To me, at one time they had a show called After the Dead Files, and a producer from Hollywood, California, Los Angeles called me up and wanted to know if I wanted to be on the show, and I said, sure, why not? And so what really sucked was I had to do what they told me to do. Do you know what I mean? The producer made me do certain things, and I didn't like it. So I'm thinking my experience I had with the show that I was on, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I can just see it in the other shows where that producer wants you to do shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, so it's real hard. But with the girl, she's good. She's good. They don't tell her what to do. She just says it.
Well, Bill says thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, do you okay, you're down in Pittsburgh, obviously. What are some of the, and we only have a few more minutes left. This went so quick, but have you ever investigated any of the places like Brownsville Road, like the Demon of Brownsville Road, or any like notable, like real high, I guess that's a high profile. I mean, that's one of the ones that comes up when you're looking for haunted places in Pittsburgh or.
Well, and I'll tell you what, real quick, because I know I got about 3 minutes, but we got to investigate the aviary down in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
It was the original Allegheny County Jail. The aviary was. And during the Civil War, I think it was 1864, the Union troops captured a cavalry of Confederate soldiers, and that became a prisoner of war camp down there. Down there. And there is a Union soldier that walks around that place down there. But to me, that's like one of the best places to go to, the aviary.
That's fascinating to me. You said something to me tonight about the agreement. I've never heard anything like that from an investigator, and that is so. I gotta get you back on here at some time. I will. I know that we're coming up at the end of the show, and then you have your other shows tonight. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time tonight to just be
I
on
had
here.
fun, brother. I had fun.
Viewers, I know that there are some of the questions that weren't able to get to. Maybe I can do this one real quick. Fort Ian Time says, "Do you know much about the Amityville haunting?"
Yeah, it was it haunted? Yes. Somebody wrote a book about it, and they made a movie about it, and they made it extravagant. And to me personally, I do not believe, my own personal opinion, I don't believe that the Amityville house was that haunted.
I'm
That's my
sure that
opinion.
was very embellished for the movie.
Oh yeah,
One of the
that's
probably one of the first ones that really stood out that somebody thought that they could run with, and market this and make something out of it.
same way with haunting in Connecticut. To me, that nah. That's like another show for about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Shawn, I know I want to put up your contact information here real quick. Well, the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society Research
Yes,
Investigations. I know you have a Facebook page. Is there any other way that you would recommend folks to get in touch with you?
that's the best way to do it, right there.
Right there.
And
Okay, right through the.
and if you like our page or be part of our page, our shows usually come on our Facebook page, Pittsburgh Paranormal. They usually come on if your listeners are interested.
Okay, and once again, real quick, we have Into the Night and Chasing Prophecy.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Uh, Shawn, thank you so much. This has been a very interesting episode. I appreciate you
You're
taking your
welcome.
time to do this. I know you have your other shows tonight, so I appreciate it.
Uh-huh. Oh, thank you for having me on, Brian. And goodbye to all your listeners out there.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy.
And thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good chiller night, and we'll see you next week.
How many times do I have to tell you, just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad?
Oh, jeez.